Thanks, Mr. Chairman. And let me say at the outset, I welcome you both. You both have extraordinary backgrounds in law enforcement. I'm sorry that you're both on the same panel because you each, I believe, have very important jobs you're seeking. And I wish we had more time so that we could be fair in asking both of you questions. I'm going to focus my questions on Mr. Seralta. Mr. Cole, that doesn't diminish the importance of the DEA in my mind. I hope you understand that. We just have limited time. Mr. Seralto, I want to start by saying, as the son of an immigrant, when you told me your story, when you told this gathering your story, it is a heartwarming story of a family that came to the United States and has made this nation better. Immigrants make America better. And this notion that they're all rapists and terrorists and murderers and mentally unstable doesn't reflect the reality of America. Your family has given much to this country, and I'm sure will continue to, so I want to salute you in that regard. I'm going to ask you a question because the Marshal Service is the lead agency charged with executing and enforcing judicial orders from federal courts. I'm going to ask you if you're willing to commit under oath to enforcing all judicial orders if you are confirmed to lead the Marshal Service.
Thank you, Senator. The primary role and mission of the Marshal Service is to provide safety for and obey, enforce, and execute all lawful orders of the federal courts.
That was clear.
Yes.
Thank you. Now let's get to the issue of judicial security. You identified that as your first priority. I'm sure it isn't in any way to reflect on your other priorities, but let's talk about it for a moment. You've been a somewhat extraordinary witness because you've served under both Democrats and Republican presidents. You're a holdover, and that speaks well of you and the fact that you are considered apolitical, at least in my mind. So let me ask you this question. Do you feel the challenge of judicial security continues to grow in intensity?
Senator, thank you. Thank you for that question. Not only am I apolitical, but the United States Marshal Service is apolitical. Threatening a judge is a serious, serious crime, and it's something that we have always been a part of investigating and holding folks accountable. So threats have been coming at judges for years. The entire 6 years I've been here, as well as I'm sure in the future. So we will continue the intensity and the tenacity of investigating each and every threat and taking it to the further extent of the law, working with the various United States Attorney's Office in each district.
So my staff, I've asked them, what is the size of the staff of the U.S. Marshals Service nationwide? And they estimate that there are 5,600 employees. We now know that DOGE, the Elon Musk inefficiency task force or whatever they call themselves, has sent letters to 5,000 out of your 5,600 U.S. Marshal Service inviting them to resign. I want to ask you at the outset, 5,600, is that number about right?
Senator, I think it's lower than that.
Do you feel that you have adequate resources to meet your responsibilities in protecting judges, their families, and those who are part of the court system?
Well, Senator, that's going to be my top priority is to make sure that we keep our judges safe. I've done so for the last 6 years in the Southern District of Florida, and I will continue to do so. As far as the resources, the human resources, that is something I'd have to study. I'd have to look at where we have our folks and ensure, and if I do need more human resources, then I would absolutely take it up with the Department of Justice and ensure that we make the ask.
So you have 5,000 of the 5,600 employees, by my estimation here, who've been invited to resign. If that happens in any substantial number, are you concerned that it would diminish the knowledge, experience, and seniority of the current marshals to serve in the future?
Well, Senator, I believe you're talking about what they call the DRP or the fork. I believe that is particular to the folks that can afford to retire, the folks that have the time in. I certainly am one that if someone has earned their stripes, if somebody has put in an entire career and they'd like to retire, then that's their right. However, I can tell you there are a number of marshals that seek extensions in order to work longer and don't want to retire. They can retire and they don't retire.
I'm going to ask one simple question. My time has expired here. Are you willing to commit under oath that you will fight for the resources to protect judges and their families against the threats that they're now receiving, like this pizza episode?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.